A more simple Funko. Funko had their earnings call today for the second quarter of 2023.
And we're here to give you the most important parts of that call instead of boring you with a bunch of that you don't care about, like their earnings. Do you care about their earnings?
No, and I found it really weird that their earnings weren't as good as last year in some places.
It's lower, but there was somebody who was on the call who basically said they were shocked that they were better than they thought. So I guess that's good.
Okay.
So it seems like Funko wants to go back to their roots. They want to be the smaller sort of operation that they used to be.
No, they don't. Let's not get it twisted. Funko wants to be the toy company. They're trying to take things back a notch because they completely grew way too big during the pandemic.
Way too fast.
Way too fast. They needed to put on the brakes, but they didn't. They just kept going.
That's like buying a muscle shirt the first day you went back to the gym. You don't have muscles yet. All right, so let's read one of the most important paragraphs of this entire call. It says, we have also begun reshaping the company to focus our energies and resources on Funko's core products. To that end, we are implementing a strategic plan to reduce the number of product lines and complexity in our business, putting our fans and brand first, running the business like a lean startup, and investing in areas where we can grow profitability will guide and inform every decision that we make.
Can we talk about reducing product lines? Because didn't they just come out with rewinds?
I have no idea what product lines they're talking about, but I think this means it's more focused on Funko Pops and sodas.
But they just came out with rewinds. And Bitty Pops. Last call, Brian was super proud of the Bitty Pops.
I don't know what route they're going to go. It seems like Bitty Pops are actually kind of popular.
Yeah, it's just really weird because they're talking about focusing on specific things, but it's like they have a lot of things. Are they getting rid of the things that they just brought in? Are they trying to make the things that they just created, like the rewinds, like a big thing, like part of their big idea?
Well, they said putting money in areas where it'll grow profitability, but they're going to run like a lean startup. So they laid off a lot of people, and so now they're a much smaller company than they once were.
Yeah, they laid off 180 people.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot.
So Funko's making a huge change here.
But I'm not convinced that this is for the better. Maybe for the better of like their profitability and stuff, but I don't know how good this is for fans. I have a lot of concerns because they mention in here, what did he say? Putting our fans and brand first. If they wanted to put their fans first, then they wouldn't have up with fun days because they know their fans do value piece counts. They completely screwed up the piece counts. They know that their fans value limited pieces unless it's an NFT or in the fun days box, which we thought was a national freaking treasure. We're not getting very limited pieces.
Well, they're starting over today, Heather. They're starting over today. We're a lean, mean fighting machine. And we eat all our greens because I'm a machine.
You already said machine.
I did?
Yeah.
And I'm living my dream. So Funko is going back to basics, and we're talking about Funko Pops, sodas. Maybe, is this the end of sodas?
Are we gonna get more wobblers and door?
I don't know what this means in terms of like what they're focused on and what they call core products. I just think about Funko Pops, Funko sodas. Rewinds, do they fall in the same category? That's a very good point.
Yeah, I'm curious about that because they're like, well, we're gonna focus on just these little things, but it's like, you just came out with biddies. You just came out with rewinds. I mean, for crying out loud, they had like that big Blockbuster store at SDCC a couple of weeks ago. What do they mean they're going to focus on their core products? Rewinds aren't a core product.
So Funko knows that they oversaturated the market. And so now they're trying to reduce all of that, and they're trying to work with the big box stores again. Because apparently the big box stores were basically like, your is not selling, so we're not going to be carrying as much of your
Well, yeah. I mean, that was obvious when Hot Topic changed from an entire Funko Pop wall to a little bitty Funko shelf that's about this wide.
Okay, so this says ongoing inventory destocking by some of our larger U.S. wholesale customers.
Hold on,
impacted our top line. Hold on, impacted our top line and profitability.
Why do you keep saying profitability? It's profitability.
Profitability.
You said profitability.
I said.
You've been saying profitability this entire
I
video.
have not been saying that. Profitability, 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 profitability. Okay, let me read that last part for you again. Destocking by some of our larger U.S. wholesale customers impacted our top line and profitability.
You said profitability.
Profitability, profitability.
So that's basically Walmart, Target, Hot Topic,
Yeah.
FYE even, some of the big stores. No, it's like all of them.
Well, now all those different Funko Pops from those stores ended up like on Funko.com, and then they were trashing a lot of stuff. And that was a whole other part of this call. They're talking about reducing, I guess, the size. They can't make all this product and put them in storage containers anymore. They can't afford it. That's basically what brought them here and killed them. They could not handle the amount of shit that they ordered because nobody wanted it.
Yeah, nobody wanted it. And on top of that, they spent all the money for all this product, and then they were spending money to store it because nobody wanted it.
We anticipate that this softness will continue in the second half of this year, and as a result, we have lowered our full year guidance. So that sounds like they anticipate the big box companies not really wanting so much of their stuff right now, at least.
Yeah.
So one of the topics that came up, somebody asked the question, why is this affecting you? A lot of other businesses aren't having this problem anymore in terms of products selling at stores. And Funko basically replied that things have been pretty bad, but things are getting better and they expect things to be better next year.
One, the economy is not so great right now.
True.
So you have to lower your spending on things that you don't need. And you don't need Funko Pops.
Well, it depends on who you are, Heather.
So I'm sure that has a little bit of an impact on it. Also, they're doing the direct-to-consumer thing, which shouldn't that bring them more money? Because instead of selling for a lower price to someone who is then going to mark it up and sell it for what Funko would sell it for, they're just cutting that out and selling it for the whole retail price on their own website. That also, in turn, the fact that they're taking these retailer exclusives and selling them on their own website, people are buying their products less from stores.
And that is probably hurting this whole situation here.
With the big box stores, at least.
Yes, but you got to remember also that those Funko Pops being in those stores, those big box companies are buying them. The reason why those Funko Pops are on their website is because they're refusing to buy them. And you got to remember, those Funko Pops being in those stores, that's huge marketability for them.
How many people started collecting based off of just seeing a couple in a store?
Exactly. So all that compounded together, I think that's a really important cog to this whole wheel. And also them being popular in the store. Because if they're no longer popular in these big box stores, they're not going to be as popular on the website, and therefore people aren't going to buy this stuff anymore. Yeah. So Funko basically came out in this call and said, we're reducing a lot of things. We're going back to the way it used to be, and we want to make the fans happy. I feel like, even though they're big business and they want to make money, obviously, there is a real idea there. Because if they don't go back to the way that it was and they don't make the collectors understand, we're not just going to make a million of everything and just look like big money grubbers, maybe the collectors will come back in droves.
What's a money grubber? Oh my God, that's a real thing.
I told you, I knew it!
Ew!
Trying to make me look stupid in front of all my friends.
No, I really have no idea. I look stupid because I didn't know that was a thing.
We are ahead of schedule on the key elements of our cost reduction plan, said Steve Nave, Chief Financial Officer and Chief Operating Officer. To date, we've made excellent progress on the disposal of inventory that was in excess of our warehouse capacity, which has enabled us to process customer orders more quickly and eliminate certain related storage costs and container rental charges.
Okay, great. I'm so glad that they are not wasting money on storage containers. They're just wasting money getting the correct products to their customers because their warehouse, either their software or their workers, are so incompetent that they're sending $15 Funko Pops in place of a $105 box of fun. They're proud of that. You know, oh, we don't have to store it. But you gotta print 100 shipping labels for all these things you gotta send out.
Heather, give them a break. It's day one of the changes.
I really don't like how they focus on all of the good, but I mean, of course they can't focus on all the bad that has been happening, but
Well,
like
they can't come out and say all the bad things like we screwed up the Fun Days boxes. They're not going to say that.
Do you have Linda's number?
But what they're going to say no. But what they're going to say is about like their earnings and stuff. That gives the true sense of what is going on.
I am curious what their earnings are going to be next quarter after all these crazy things that they have done, and they're like making it up to Fun Days fans and shipping the correct orders out to their customers and trying to figure out the whole Gone thing. How and why did that happen to so many people?
That's just a warehouse level thing.
Someone needs to call Linda and let Linda know. Linda, in case you don't listen to these calls, you probably don't. Linda asks all the hard-hitting questions, and she does not let up.
She's very nice today, actually.
Yeah.
And she praised them a little bit. You missed it. You walked out of the call.
I was busy being a lumberjack. I was cutting down trees.
You know why I think Linda was being nice? Brian Mariotti was gone.
Probably.
Yeah,
honestly.
that's what I think it is.
I was gonna say, like, he came across as very, like, fake and robotic in those calls, but so did the new CEO.
New CEO sounded pretty good. I liked him. Are you serious? Well, he's not the new CEO. They got to pick somebody. By the way they made it sound, they're finding somebody new. Brian's definitely not coming back.
No, he's not.
He's on the
back.
board, but he's not returning back to Funko. But they did praise him, and they talked about his creativity. Guess who else they brought up on the call?
Who? Me?
Mike Becker.
Oh, well, Mike Becker's the
Talking about how great Mike Becker was. We love Mike Becker. Their Buckeye warehouse, I guess whatever that system is, whatever the software they needed to get that warehouse up and running. It sounds like things are coming together.
Oh yeah? Is that what they're using to ship the boxes of fun that are actually big ol' ice cream head Gone?
If you ordered a box of fun, you got Gone instead, please let us know in the comment section down below. That happened to a lot of people, like overwhelmingly too many people. Yeah. And I wonder if it's like in their system, it was like a confusion of numbers or something, or like the numbers are really close, or maybe their system was confused. Maybe the warehouse system isn't as good as they said it was. Before we go any further, check this out. So what do you think? Ghost Ghastly. I'm so excited to announce that we will be dropping him this upcoming Monday, August the 7th.
Yeah, so make sure you head over to MISCHIEFtoys.com and sign up for the newsletter, because that will be the first place you get that information.
And you probably are wondering what the limited number is on this piece. And Heather, what is it?
It is 305, and guess what? We only have one sticker, and that is placed on 305 boxes, not 3,305. Just 305.
So good luck, everybody. This figure is amazing, and so is the pin. Go and check out MISCHIEFtoys.com. Okay, so my thoughts on this whole call thing. I think this is good. Yeah. I feel like they're coming up with a good direction. It makes me excited to make a video like this after we have trashed that box of fun for so many days in a row, practically. I'm glad to hear good news. I like to hear Funko is going back to their roots. I hope that means like old school Fun Days types of things. Awesome boxes of fun. I hope they come back and we don't deal with a situation like we dealt with this year.
I am not sold. The fact that a lot of the people that they let go were creatives, the change that they noted that was like really big in their last call was outsourcing their art. And in my opinion, the biggest draw to their products for me is the love and care that goes into those products. I mentioned it on the video where I showed the S'mores Boy. S'mores Boy, you can tell that whoever designed that loves their job.
Yeah.
It is so well done, and that is not the quality and the detail that you will get if you just hire some random person who probably doesn't even know who Funko is.
But there are still creatives at Funko, so let's not disregard that. There are artists there, and I'm hoping that those artists thrive through all of this. There's no more layoffs. Things get better because we want to see Funko succeed, and this call made me feel like there was like a little glimmer of hope that Funko will succeed and kick ass. And let's hope this too. Let's hope they bring in a CEO who's very good, but we don't have to see him every day. Bring in Mike Becker, put him as the front-facing camera person, and have like a little team with him, and leave the CEO at the top of HQ, and let him work and do his magic, and we don't need to know all the things about him.
As far as Brian Mariotti goes, they mentioned his creativity. Now, I don't know exactly what he did. I know that the CEO's job is to make a company profitable. But if he's creative, put him in that sort of role that will allow him to use that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like,
let him utilize him being creative. Before he became CEO again, that's where he was, remember?
yeah.
He was like in a creative thing, which is why you kept seeing him in promos for Funko with Mike Becker. They were always doing things together. They were doing like the Funko entertainment stuff.
Yeah, and that was fun to me.
But who knows what will happen with the Big B? Right now, we just know that he's not the CEO, and he most likely will not be the CEO. And now they're looking for a new CEO. You know, I'm just going to say I'm going to throw my hat in the ring here. That's my hat I'm throwing in the ring.
They don't want you.
You're telling me they don't want somebody on the team talking about sniffing golden retriever butts?
I'm your wife and I hardly want you. I know you want to be positive, especially with all the we've been giving them. They really rubbed me the wrong way on the call today. I know it's an earnings call. They have to talk about money. The way that they talked about letting all of the people go that they let go,
AKA reduction in force.
it was so impersonal. And I know with business it has to be, but I just don't like it. It doesn't feel like the Funko that we all picture in our head.
Right, you picture like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, but not just that, like everybody's friends, everybody hangs out and stuff. You know, just saying, oh, well, we cut 180 people, so we're gonna be saving 20-something million dollars. I just don't like it, and I think it's more of a me problem because I'm fully aware of what the earnings call is.
Well, we know a lot of the people.
Well, yeah.
So that's a huge problem, and I agree with you to that extent, but of course they're a business, so that's just how businesses operate. Unfortunately, it sucks. I mean, it does. It sucks. But Funko apparently does not have the power that they did. They lost a lot of money. They had to throw away a lot of product.
Okay, well, they shouldn't buy so much product.
They made a lot of bad decisions, and you can blame a lot of people for that. But the point is, in order for them to get anywhere now and to even try to succeed, which they may not succeed. We're not going to be the doomsday clock here, though. We're not going to be the Grim Reaper. But they may not succeed even with this new plan. But in order to do it, they do have to be leaner. But this is all because people made very bad decisions, and all the people who got laid off had to pay for it. And that sucks.
It does.
One thing we didn't mention, I'm going to mention this before we go, is that it seems like they're going to reduce the amount of figures that they put out.
They said that on the last earnings call, and I feel like this one hinted towards it. It wasn't as clear as in the last call.
They didn't directly say it, but it makes sense. They're talking about being leaner. They're trying not to be complex, or too complex. That's one of their biggest problems, is that they become too complex. You have all these different products, and when you have too many products, you become kind of bloated. Then, of your core products, you have too many of them. You're even more bloated. They have to find a way to bring everything back in, grow organically again, and reach the top without sprinting. Because it's exactly what they did during the pandemic, and it really took them down several notches. So a reduction in figures would be great. Who doesn't want to see a sellout on Funko.com again?
Oh my gosh.
And also, look at the Fairly Odd Parents. I know that we aren't near a Meijer to pick them up, but that's excitement again. As angry as you may be that you're not getting your hands on it, that is so exciting. And that's sort of where Funko began, is with this excitement, trying to get the things, the hunt.
We literally would go out, and still to this day, although it's not as common because pops are so common.
Yeah.
But we would be like, hey man, what you looking for? And they'd be like, oh, this is what I'm looking for. And we'd be like, okay, I'll look for that. But hey, this is what I'm looking for. And they'd be like, okay, I'll look for that. Somebody somewhere would end up finding each other's stuff and they would just trade. You know what I mean? Like, the excitement was it wasn't readily available to everybody. And you had to hunt for these things. You had to be in the right place at the right time. And it was so much fun. I remember when I went to Target, I saw 2 chases sitting on the shelf. You never see chases on the shelf. Tell me the last time you saw a chase sitting on a retail shelf. It was so exciting. And guess what? I picked them up because I knew somebody who was looking for them and I helped them out. But had they gone later that day, they probably wouldn't have been there.
I just want to say you were talking as 2 different people on this side of the phone and then 2 different people on this side of the phone. And I've been wanting to say it, but you just wouldn't stop talking. That very much bothered me.
It's because I'm 2 different people. I have a lot to say.
We just said a lot, and we want to know what you think, and you should tell us all the things in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for staying until the end of the video. We like to take a moment to thank our patrons, and in this video, we'd like to shout out to 10 of them. Joshua G, Michael Petrino, Joseph Mayfield, Brian, Tony Hagman, Greg F, Ryan Thomas, David Jones, Brian Barrick, Danny Allen. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. We appreciate all of our patrons. You guys rock!